Hey everyone, how's it going? We're glad you're all here from all around the world. If you're new, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So, today, for the first time ever, Iran used a new kind of missile. A cluster missile. According to Israeli Army radio, quoting two military sources. This missile explodes mid-air and splits into several smaller missiles that spread out and hit multiple targets at once. Israel was caught off guard by its ability to carry explosive warheads. When it goes off, it scatters debris and mini-warheads across several locations. Putin is getting real-time updates on this situation, especially after the attack on the Bushehr nuclear reactor, where Russian experts are still inside. Putin quickly ordered his officials to contact the Israelis and warn them against this risky move, or doing it again. This is a new Russian stance. Putin even offered to mediate between Israel and Iran. I told him, do me a favor, mediate your own war first. How about Russia and Ukraine sort things out before worrying about Tehran and Tel Aviv? The US president has seen the military plans and signed off on them. He's just waiting to pull the trigger. Yesterday, he said he likes to make decisions at the very last moment. Russia is warning the US that if they get involved in this Iran war, a major disaster is coming. Meanwhile, Washington is prepping so-called bunker buster bombs to hit Iran's Fordow nuclear facility, and the Pentagon just announced that Tel Aviv has actually run out of Iron Dome defense missiles. Macron says, war isn't the answer. Iran says it's taken down a Mossad spy network, and the Revolutionary Guard is preparing to hit Israel's Channel 2 headquarters. Tehran also destroyed Israel's nuclear research archives. Washington has pulled all its aircraft and bombers from Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, while Iran warns the Gulf states that if the United States gets involved, their American military bases will become fair game. The Houthis said they'll strike back hard if the United States interferes. Muslim Brotherhood-aligned groups declared full support for Iran. Putin also confirmed that Iran didn't ask Russia for military help, and even refused air defense cooperation earlier. Moscow is now holding Tel Aviv responsible for the safety of over 200 Russian nuclear scientists currently working in Iran. North Korea condemned the Israeli strikes and warned of all-out war. Kim Jong-un declared his full support for Tehran. It's, honestly, like a nightmare prophecy. Wars raging between Iran and Tel Aviv, and things are spinning out of control. Iranian attacks are intensifying, and Israeli airstrikes are ramping up too. Reuters reports the United States is worried Tel Aviv could collapse within 10 days due to relentless Iranian strikes, which are now on day 6. The Washington Post quoted US officials saying Tel Aviv's Iron Dome missile stockpile could be depleted within 10 to 12 days if Iran keeps up the attacks. Meanwhile, Israeli paper Haaretz reported a massive and unprecedented escape of settlers via the sea from Herzliya and Haifa ports, heading for Cyprus. People are organizing illegal trips on small yachts through Facebook groups. It's costing around 6,000 shekels per person. The Israeli government is trying to crack down on travel. As for damage, Tel Aviv has entered a new phase of crisis. Iranian strikes have successfully shut down Haifa's oil refineries, which has, partially paralyzed the energy sector. Energy Minister Yovanin mentioned that restarting the Baz refinery could actually take nearly a month and, well, emergency plans are already underway to increase fuel imports. Iran's bombardment also hit the power and steam plants at the refinery, disrupting supplies and, honestly, sparking internal protests. On the international front, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov warned the United States against giving direct military support to Tel Aviv, saying that it would destabilize the region. The Russian Foreign Ministry issued a statement condemning the Israeli attacks on Iran's nuclear sites, calling them illegal and a threat to global security, and, reiterated its support for diplomacy. Putin said Russia is standing for a fair global order and confirmed strong trust between Moscow and Tehran. He emphasized that the Russian-Iranian cooperation is purely peaceful and not tied to the current crisis. He also confirmed that about 200 Russian nuclear experts are still working on building 2 additional units at the Bushehr power plant, and that Tel Aviv had promised not to target them. Putin said Russia supplied Iran with military equipment in the past, but under older agreements, and nothing that breaks international law. In response to Trump's comments, Putin refused to discuss the possibility of the United States assassinating Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. Still, despite Russia's warning, Trump approved plans to strike Iran, according to the Wall Street Journal. He said the United States might have to go to war to stop Iran's nuclear project. It's either fight now or let Iran get nukes. In his recent meetings, Trump reportedly asked his military advisors whether the MOP bunker buster bomb could effectively destroy Iran's Fordow facility. He stressed that any attack must be effective, but shouldn't drag the United States into another endless Middle East war. The New York Times reported that American diplomats have started leaving Tel Aviv using various means due to the escalating conflict. The United States and United Kingdom launched an airlift to evacuate their citizens via Ben Gurion Airport, and the State Department is urging Americans to register for the emergency departure program. French President Emmanuel Macron said France won't accept a nuclear-armed Iran, but also warned that using military force to change the regime in Tehran would be a huge mistake. His comments show growing European fears about the war spreading. On the battlefield, the Israeli army said it carried out a new wave of airstrikes on over 20 targets in Tehran, involving 60 fighter jets. According to a military statement, the targets were linked to Iran's nuclear weapon program, centrifuge production, and missile and air defense systems. In a major development, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard announced it arrested 9 women for allegedly spying for Tel Aviv while trying to flee through Iran's western border. They also issued an urgent warning to evacuate the David Kempinski Hotel in Tel Aviv, which is believed to be where Channel 2 has been broadcasting from since the war began. Channel Kan reported that an Iranian missile hit a cardiac research lab in Tel Aviv, wiping out years of scientific work in one devastating blow, possibly the most damaging hit to Israel's scientific infrastructure so far. Recent satellite images showed Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar almost empty after previously being packed with aircraft, suggesting a partial United States and British military withdrawal due to fears of an Iranian strike. Military sources say the United States is now sending F-22 fighter jets to the Middle East, likely to be stationed at Muwafaq al-Salti Air Base in Jordan, with support from KC-46 refueling planes. The Financial Times said the United Kingdom has placed its government on high alert in case of a possible United States attack on Iran. A German diplomat said the foreign ministers of Germany, France, and Britain will meet with Iranian officials next Friday in Geneva for nuclear talks. From the Gulf side, Kuwait's foreign minister said the Gulf countries are coordinating to monitor for any potential radiation, and consular plans are in place to protect Gulf citizens inside Iran. United States lawmakers told the New York Times that Gulf leaders are saying one thing publicly and another behind closed doors, showing confusion and tension in the region. In a serious warning, Iran told Gulf countries that if the United States directly intervenes in this war, American bases in their territories will be targeted. The Washington Post reported that Iranian officials delivered this warning to their Qatari counterparts recently. The paper also said United States and Qatari officials discussed a temporary closure of Qatar's airspace in case of a military conflict to let United States forces